Hello traders, welcome back to Bunnex Investment Group. In this video, I'll actually show you two of my best setups. Of course, I have a lot of entry setups, but I'll show you the two that have made me a lot of money for free. Without further ado, let's jump into the content. So if you have watched our previous video where we talked about how to count levels, you know and now understand that we start on the higher time frame. My first setup that I love and that is very easy for me to see is what we call a peak formation high. A peak formation high comes as a third level reversal point or a reset reversal point. So the first thing that I always want to do when I am trading the peak formation high or peak formation low is basically to see a cycle completion. What do we see, or how do we see when we say a cycle is completed? Basically, we need three levels in one particular direction. We had the first level to the upside, then the second level to the upside, which may be equated to days of rise or days of drop if we are on the H1 time frame. Then we had the third level like this. So basically, after three levels of rise or three levels of drop, we expect to see a market reversal. The only thing that we actually use to enter or trigger our trades is to see a pattern. A pattern at peak formation high or peak formation low comes as an M pattern, or in some other cases as a head and shoulders pattern. Like in this case, we had first day of rise, second day of rise, and third day of rise. We had shoulder, head, shoulder. When we see the second leg actually protruding above the first leg, we start to anticipate a head instead of a second leg. Therefore, our entry will be at the second shoulder. As this was actually a completed cycle, the next thing is now to anticipate a reset point. In this particular case, we can see there was a reset point which was at 38.2 fib level, which is this one. This zone is calculated or accurately found by some other methods that I won't talk about in this particular free video. Before we continue, please join our free trading community where we share free signals, free trading advice, as well as setups. The link is right down in the description box below. Be part of the winning community. So after getting this, we actually start to look for an M pattern, and as I have said, in some other cases the second leg will protrude below the first leg level, and if that happens, you start to anticipate for an inverted head and shoulder in this particular case. So in this case, we actually had another entry, and this is a peak reset W pattern. A 50 pips was actually going to be hit. As you can see, the market kept on hitting the same point, which is the point of reset. As I have said at the beginning of this video, I have two patterns that I love to talk about. So far, we have talked about the peak formation high or the reset peak. Another point that I love to enter is called a safety point, where we get what we call a safety entry. This is seen on the M15 time frame after a validated peak lock. In this case, we have seen that this was a peak reset where we can see there was a 50-200 EMA cross, and this peak is successfully locked. After a peak lock, we start to look for entries away from that particular peak. Entries or entry triggers are actually made if we see a valid point of entry, which is either a W pattern or a V pattern. A V pattern is basically a pattern whereby the market shifts in a very fast move, creates a V on the trader's dynamic index like this, and this becomes a shark fin entry. So this is also another point, and I'm sure, remember that we actually traded something of this sort, but it was on Euro USD in the VIP channel of our signals. So basically, this is the second point of entry that I also love. Other points of entry actually requires much more deeper explanation. Like in this case, this week on Euro USD, we got a point of entry in this particular way. This was actually marked way before. On pound USD, this was actually how we anticipated the flow. On USD card, we also anticipated the flow in this case. On pound JPY, it was also anticipated in this case. So these are now much more complicated entries, which I can teach you in the Becoming a Seven-Figure Traders program. Be sure to be part of that program. On that note, we've come to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.